But that wasn't the big news this weekend. Unfortunately, there was some rather despicable news coming out of my NASCAR family, man. So, obviously the race was supposed to be Saturday, but it got rained out, so they had to postpone it till, it was supposed to be Sunday, but it got rained out. They postponed it and did it on Monday. And in Bubba Wallace's garage, where his car is located at, his crew found a noose on the car. This is crazy. A noose. This is, we're in 2020. Yes, it's 2020. I had to make sure I was in the right year here. 2020. They found a noose on the man's car. I mean, that's just, to me, is utterly disgusting and just disrespectful, because when we talk about what the noose symbolizes, we know there is no coming back from that. There is no, hey, would you forgive a guy? I would much rather you call me the N-word with the ER on the end of it than you put the noose on my car, because that's a totally different message right there, man. And to just think that in the year 2020, we got people out with that type of energy, that type of mindset, and it's, I hate to say I'm not surprised by it, but it's always one of those things where you hear the people saying, hey man, racism is over, man. What are you talking about? That's not real. Or the NASCAR fans, remember when they got rid of it, because Bubba was huge in terms of getting the Confederate flag banned from the track. They tried to do it before in the past, but ultimately it never happened. But Bubba was really big and really at the forefront of getting this, Confederate flag removed, and rightfully so. And you hear people say, well, man, racism, nah, it's just a flag, man. This is a way of life, da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, cool. But now you get this. So tell me how racism doesn't exist, or is this not considered racism? Maybe I'm missing something here. But where I'm from, in my history, if a noose is placed around an African-American, we know exactly what you're saying, because we know the history of that. So for me, man, I thought that was just otherworldly, man, to just think that, oh, people are really on that right now because of what he stood for and what he was ultimately able to accomplish in getting the Confederate flag banned, which it should be.
Yeah, dude, it was disgusting. That's just an awful thing to do. And we've talked on the mic before, off the mic before. Dude, I'm like surprised myself at some of the stuff I've heard come out about things, because I don't know. I just think I was raised right. I've been around good friends. I've been around good people all my life, and it's just such a shame that people do this type of stuff. It just really is. But I guess one of the things you can say is just good things you can say is just how NASCAR responded and all the drivers and just the brand in general. And we've been talking about this. It's just so funny how all this has happened. Like, who would have thought? I don't know, like a year ago that like NASCAR would be at sports. NASCAR would be at the forefront for like social justice issues and like really trying to push forward and make some change. So good for them. I mean, all the drivers, like it was just a cool scene with all the drivers, the pictures, the videos that were supporting Bubba throughout all this. So I think it just goes to show, like, yo, we're not standing for this type of. I want to say shit. I've sworn on it.
Man, I want to say, come on, listen. We done had Zach Bannon come on the show. We had Chevy. Chevy, he was talking. So without a doubt, bro, I think you'll be okay.
Without this, I've sworn many times before. I probably dropped F-bombs before.
You probably have.
I don't know. I was just trying to keep everything really nice there. But no, we're not standing for this type of shit anymore. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's just been a positive response from NASCAR throughout all this. So yeah, kudos to that.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Like you said, this is a long journey. We don't expect, racism and injustice and all these other things to just disappear overnight, because it didn't happen overnight. It's going to be a process. But the thing is, it's going to take solidarity. It's going to take everybody playing their part, playing their role in this conversation, in this movement. And like you said, to see NASCAR, we know NASCAR isn't the most diverse sport. Let's be real about it. I mean, we talk about Bubba. He's talked about so much right now because he's the only minority driver. So it's a big deal. But to see non-minorities sticking up for him, to see non-minorities pushing the conversation forward, to see non-minorities backing the idea of removing the Confederate flag and everything that's going on along that, it's to the point now that, like you said, people are so fed up with it that if you're not joining in terms of speaking up for the minorities and speaking up for the people that have been oppressed, then people are starting to look at you like you're crazy. Like when we saw people started to go on this, man, you're crazy, the Confederate flag, man. How you going to ban that? They started looking crazy when people was like, bro, do you really understand what it stands for? And if you're willing to fight for that right now, like, what does that say about you? So for me, man, I was really happy to see that non-minorities are starting to feel that way. Non-minorities are starting to step up, because this is stuff that, I mean, as a minority, we've talked about and for numerous amount of years, different generations of it. And at the end of the day, it always falls on deaf ears, because you didn't have the large support of the non-minorities, the people that didn't have the direct correlation of feeling with that. They haven't experienced some of the things. But to see them now, like I said, man, saying that, look, man, we're not standing for it. Like, it's unacceptable. It's not cool, and it's done. Like, I love it. I'm over here like, yeah, baby, keep it going. Keep it going.
Dude, whenever I've been down south, maybe 2 or 3 times in my lifetime for like vacation, Myrtle Beach or whatever, South Carolina, and I've seen people drive around with the Confederate flag. Dude, I was always shocked. I'm like, how is this even possible? Like, what is going on here?
They would have the Confederate flag more than the American flag, bro. Like,
I was so
no
shocked.
exaggeration.
I was like, how is this happening?
I mean, confession, I was just down in VA yesterday.
Yeah.
Saw a Confederate flag on the truck driving by, like, oh, we're still on this. Okay, cool. Just making sure I understood what the situation is.
Why not just an American flag? You know?
It's crazy, man.